B-Marsh Boxing, what's going on, boxing heads and fight fans around the world. Now, you know I gotta report any news on any champion or any significant fighters out of the DC, Maryland area. So I'm talking about Capitol Heights' own, some of the fastest hands in boxing, WBC featherweight champion for 4 or 5 years, since like 2014. What are we in 2015 now? 2019? Good 5 years, my man Gary Russell, man. Gary Russell Jr., Mr. Gary Russell Jr., been a champion, you know? And Gary Russell's fed up with the boxing game, you know what I mean? I read an article yesterday, and he was talking about basically um, the higher ups, whether it's promoters, managers, and the suits, including even Al Heyman himself. He mentioned Al Heyman. I'm not making this up. He mentioned Al Heyman. He said these type of guys, these people are the ones holding up the fight. Santa Cruz don't want no smoke, and they're actually protecting him. You know what I mean? They're keeping him in in a safe haven, a safe house where he doesn't have to fight these type of characters like Gary Russell Jr. All right. Now, Gary Russell fights once a year. Basically, been fighting his mandatories the last 2 years, whether it was Jojo Diaz or Oscar Escandon. Two fights I was live in the building for at the MGM National Harbor. And I'll always support Gary Russell. Whenever he got a fight in the area, I'm on it. You know what I mean? Um, he's going to be fighting Kiko Martinez next. A voluntary defense since he's defended twice against his mandatories in the last 2 years. Kiko Martinez, 39 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws, 28 KOs. Now, this ain't the fight everybody and anybody been clamoring for. Really and truly, in Gary Russell's reign as a featherweight champion, the fights we've wanted to see him in, they never happened. You know what I'm saying? You know, Martinez, a guy who's lost to guys like Scott Quigg. I believe even Santa Cruz stopped him in like 5 rounds. You know what I mean? Um, he's gonna be facing Gary Russell, 29 and 1, 17 KOs, 30 years old, former amateur standout, southpaw, a guy who has only one loss, and that's the Lomachenko. Very inactive since he beat Lomachenko. But if anybody wants to call his bluff, anybody in the featherweight division, excuse me, the pleasure is all Gary Russell's. This is what Gary Russell said basically about Santa Cruz and the likes. And Gervonta Davis as well, who he has been calling out for the last year or two. And Gervonta Davis, it's funny how Gervonta Davis always gets into Twitter beef with guys who are way out of his division. Whether it's saying Deontay Wilder punches like a girl, whether it's getting into beef with what's the guy from Newark name? Shakur Stevenson. Whether it was talking shit with the Charlos, whether even one time was fake beefing with Broner. Davis, man, his career is turning into a joke right in front of our eyes. And if he's not careful, a grown ass man like Gary Russell gonna call this bluff and yank up his skirt. I'm gonna read you some quotes from Gary Russell. Quote, I'm only staying at 126 for Leo Santa Cruz. I have a wife and children. If they keep playing these games, I'm going to pass the torch off to my little brothers. I'm starting to get frustrated. I might say enough is enough, throw in the towel, and wash my hands with the sport. I wanted Santa Cruz. I wanted Mars before he lost to Johnny Gonzalez, and I knocked out Johnny Gonzalez for the title. I wanted Frampton, but Frampton didn't want to fight me. I want Josh Warrington. You don't see nobody calling me out. They don't want to fight me, and I'm getting to the point where I'm getting tired of it. End quote. Strong words from Gary Russell. Strong words that should provoke any fighter that he said didn't want to fight him to step in the ring with him and call his bluff. You know what I'm saying? Gary Russell said he's even willing to fight the man Tank Davis. You know what I mean? Uh, and Gary Russell said if he has to fight Miguel Berchelt first to make that Santa Cruz fight, I'm sorry, Tank Davis fight happen, then he'd be happy to do that. And he thinks that the man Santa Cruz been avoiding him because Santa Cruz can't do nothing with him. He's flat-footed. Yes, he throws a lot of volume punches, but at the end of the day, he has lost to Gary Russell in the amateurs. I know we in the pros now, different game, different ball game, but at the end of the day, that psychological edge lies in the hands of the southpaw Gary Russell. You know what I mean? Um, Gary Russell ain't fighting the guys we want to see him fight. That's what I do know. I wasn't mad at the fights, the last two fights, especially with Jojo Diaz, because that's a mandatory. Jojo Diaz was undefeated. You seen Jojo Diaz give the man Gary Russell a tough and difficult fight. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, people even said that Jojo Diaz will beat him. Jojo Diaz this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, Gary Russell came out with the W. Now for the likes of Gervonta Davis and what's his name, Gary Russell, they know each other from the amateurs. You know what I mean? Or when Gary was a professional coming up, Tank was a young amateur looking up to the man. Gervonta Davis. You know what I mean? But for Gervonta Davis to be mute and quiet when a grown man is calling him out and says he wants that smoke, it just shows you the mentality. You know what I'm saying? And Gary Russell said already that Gervonta has fought nobody and he couldn't deal with his style. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna read you some quotes from what he said. Quote: "It's very possible that they wouldn't fight me, but it's definitely a possibility. The question is, will Floyd and them actually be willing to put him in the ring with me?" As far as the fight is concerned, easy work. He hasn't fought nobody. Who has Gervonta fought? He fought a whole lot of nobodies. People that as soon as he hit him, they fall. He hasn't fought anybody that gave him any type of opposition at all. Fights are won off intellect, not just off being strong. I tell people boxing is intellect manifested on the physical form. In most cases, the more educated person should win. Not the strongest, not the biggest, not the tallest. The smartest person should win. There's no way in hell that Gervonta Tank Davis has the intellect, the hand speed, or even the ring generalship to deal with me. After about 3, 4 rounds, he'll be lost. He wouldn't know what to do. I personally know Gervonta. I know him as a younger, up and coming fighter. When I was already competing in the Olympics and all of that stuff, he was still an amateur. He would come to the tournaments and stuff like that. One, I'm just glad that he is in a position because he stayed consistent enough. A lot of these people in the sport of boxing, they tend to fall off because they reach the pinnacle of where they could actually go. I'm just glad he was consistent enough to continue to grind and stay on the path that he was on when he was a little kid. Now he's grown up. He's become a world champion, and now he's put himself in position to provide for his family, his friends, and loved ones. And I think that's cool in itself. That's all I can ask from the people who's in my ethnic group to be able to provide for their families the way that they would want to. That's some sucker ish. If you want me to be candid, how could you possibly be a champion but you ducking anybody? That don't make sense to me. That's not the attitude of a champion. So his team has already come to an agreement that, okay, well, this guy might be too much for him, or we don't want to take this fight at this time. That doesn't make sense to me. I remember when they first asked me about Lomachenko. He was a world champion at the time, and he stated himself, I don't think I'm ready for that as of yet. How much more ready do you need to be? You're a world champion. That doesn't make sense to me. That shows me something in your character. In your character, it's a kink in your armor. That's a sign of weakness to me. Mr. Gary Russell Jr., that's something that be exploited in that square. Excuse me. To Mr. Gary Russell Jr., that's something that would be exploited in that square. I would exploit that. So if Floyd and Leonard want to send Gervonta out here, then I would welcome it with open arms. Ooh, he's basically talking about Floyd Ellaby and Al Heyman, man, they keeping Tank Davis away from anybody with a pulse, including Gary Russell Jr. Now, these some strong words by Gary Russell Jr., and I'm not mad at him one bit. I've been saying the same thing, fellas like Gervonta Davis and even Santa Cruz, they've been avoiding. But let's stick mostly with Santa Cruz because that's a unification that's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? These guys, man, Santa Cruz fought a big nobody on Big Fox in front of the whole country sometime when I was on vacation. Sometime in like, what is it? What are we in? When was I on vacation? February, March. You know what I'm saying? And this guy fought somebody whom I never heard of, and he was a late minute replacement for a guy whom I'd never heard of before that. If you look at Leo Santa Cruz career, he's a three different division champion from bantamweight to 122 to 126. But who the fuck has he beat? You know what I'm saying? Who did he beat? Only fights that I remember recognize memorable fights was when he fought guys like Carl Frampton and Abner Mares. Now this guy's been a champion for a long time. I'm talking about since like 2012, 2020, 2013, 2012 them times. 2019. You mean to tell me that whole time all the guys he has fought is Abner Mares and Carl Frampton? This guy was made a mandatory. Santa Cruz was made a mandatory by the WBC. He walks around with the WBC green belt alongside his WBA super belt at 126. You know what I mean? The man was given the mandatory position to fight the man Gary Russell for the title, and he's been nowhere close to even making that fight. You know what I'm saying? And Gary Russell is that's why he says, quote, honestly, I'm getting the sense that the managers and promoters they're doing things in their power to protect Leo. That's my honest opinion. My honest thoughts is that these guys is willing to protect him. Leo Santa Cruz has a great fan base, and his fan base will definitely follow him wherever he goes. And I think that the managers and promoters they play on that. That's their cash cow. He's generating a certain amount of revenue, no matter who he competes against, because a certain amount of viewership is going to watch him fight. The people from his ethnicity will actually come out and support him that the way that I feel as though that they should. It's not in these managers and promoters' best interest to put Leo Santa Cruz with the Gary Russell. That already beat Leo before, and also has the ability to be one of the thorough ones in the sport of boxing as far as business is concerned. End quote. So he's talking about the higher ups, you know what I mean? The people who make the fights, you know what I'm saying? And, Gary Russell Jr., man, it's a damn shame fellas ain't trying to fight him, you know what I mean? What are they afraid of? The hand speed? You know what I'm saying? His hand speed don't match his foot speed, so that's somewhere where a boxer could take advantage, you know what I'm saying? That's where Lomachenko actually had the advantage, you know what I'm saying? The man Gary Russell Jr. couldn't pivot and move, circle the ring as well, or use, his footwork as quick as his hand speed, because Lomachenko beat him in that department. You know what I mean? Like I said, Gary Russell Jr. in Santa Cruz should have been happened years ago. Guys like Abner Myers, I'm not going to talk about him. I've been known he was ducking Gary Russell, and that's why he got clapped up by the man Johnny Gonzalez in one round. And like I always said in previous videos, why the man Abner Maris never even wanted that rematch, never considered even fighting. And the man Johnny Gonzalez was not no spring chicken at the time. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no, uh, you know, Abner Maris had the age advantage by a long shot. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Santa Cruz fought this guy by the name of Rafael Rivera. That fight was a fucking joke. It was on the same night, matter of fact, as All Star Weekend Slam Dunk Contest. I was watching both, you know what I'm saying? At the same time. But Gary Russell's man called they bluff. He's put it out there. What y'all gonna do? Gervonta Davis, look. Gary Russell Jr. versus Gervonta Davis. Look, Tank, if you don't want to fight the man over here in DC, or in the Maryland, what you call it, MGM National Harbor. Gary Russell will come over there to Royal Farms in Baltimore, Maryland, in the 410. The house packed full of fellas from Baltimore. He'll come over there, and I'll come over there too. I got peoples out there on the east side. You know what I'm saying? 410. I got them in the 4x4s. You know what I'm saying? Anybody from East Baltimore, shout out to you. If you know the 4x4s, you know that place ain't no joke. I'm gonna come with my peoples. I ain't going to Baltimore by myself to watch no fights, and especially to be rooting for the man Gary Russell. Baltimore motherfuckers, man, they just a different breed. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, shout out to Gary Russell. I hope he doesn't have to retire because fellas ain't trying to fight him. Fuck it, Gary Russell. Just keep fighting your mandatories. Keep getting $1 million per fight. Hey, if fellas ain't trying to fight you, I'm not gonna be a revisionist historian. I'm gonna keep calling it and keeping it tall with y'all how it is. Fellas ain't wanna fight the man Gary Russell, so all the man could do was fight his mandatories and voluntaries who are willing to step into the ring with them. Shout out to Kiko Martinez, got way more balls than guys like Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton, all these guys. And don't forget, it's not Leo Santa Cruz is a ducking culprit from a long time. This guy was ducking Guillermo Rigondeaux at 122. He said, my daddy told me not to fight him. Fuck type of shit is that? Be Marsh Boxing, I'm gone. Peace. Oh, I see somebody in the chat. Unrivaled Boxing News. What's happening to McGregor? Unrivaled Boxing News says Russell retiring. What? Yeah, he said he's contemplating retirement if he has to, if fellas like Gary Russell don't fight him. Excuse me, Gervonta or Santa Cruz. He said he's even willing to fight Miguel Burchard to get a shot at fighting Gervonta Tank Davis. You know what I mean? Miguel Burchard's a big punch and a guy who can box. You know what I'm saying? A guy who's a formidable champion. You know what I'm saying? Um, I won't lie. I haven't been so pleased with his the fighters Miguel Burchard has been fighting while defending his world title. You know, fighting the likes of not Jesse Vargas. What's the guy's name? Ah, not Samuel Vargas. What the fuck is his name, man? Used to be a former champion at 130, Mexican Olympian. Fought Orlando Salido and Takashi Miura. Can't quite remember his names right now. Somebody Vargas. Y'all know what I'm talking about. El Bandito comes in the ring with that mask on or that bandana. You know what I'm saying? Francisco Vargas. There you go. Thanks a lot, McGregor, my man. Francisco Vargas. You know, these guys are a little over the hill. You know, these guys have gone through a lot of wars, and at this stage, those are the type of guys Miguel Burchard been fighting. You know, guys that Orlando Salido had previously fought. We want to see him fight some new blood. Gervonta Tank Davis. I'd love to see that unification or Gary Russell step up to the plate, get that WBC belt. You know what I mean? He should get first dibs at it since he is a WBC featherweight champ. McGregor says that's bullshit, man. These fighters need to fight Gary. Yeah, man. Gary Russell only fights once a year, and it's frustrating because he's a talent. I'm sure you know a lot of people. I'll be seeing a lot of memes and gifs of Gary Russell's hand speed on Twitter, on social media, and these are from people who are not who are casual boxing fans. And Gary Rival says Gary also needs to be more active. Yeah, he does need to be more active. I wish he was. You know what I mean? But I think Gary Russell is, he's just looking for the big fights right now, and he's not gonna get up or be motivated to keep on fighting the likes of Kiko Martinez's and the likes. You know what I mean? But we shall see, man. Hopefully in the future, Gary Russell will fight twice a year. I'm hoping, but hopefully he'll get one of these champions in the ring sooner than later. Marsh Boxing, thanks McGregor for coming through in the live stream, and I'm gone. Peace. Hit that thumbs up whenever you come in and whenever you